Relax and manifest everything you desire. Stoicism. In today's fast-moving world, stress has become the default setting for many of us. We chase goals relentlessly, trying to control every outcome, believing that pushing harder will finally bring us the success and fulfillment we crave. But despite all this effort, true peace and happiness seem just out of reach. The truth is, the secret to manifesting everything you desire isn't about fighting harder. It's about understanding when to step back. Modern Stoicism teaches us that real power lies not in endless struggle, but in mastering our own minds, focusing only on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is one of the greatest Stoic secrets. When you stop resisting life and start working with it, things begin to fall into place. In today's video, we'll dive deep into how you can use Stoic philosophy to relax, manifest your desires, and cultivate a mindset of peace and clarity. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. Let's begin. Number 1. Let go and relax. There's a deep, undeniable urge within us to control everything: our careers, relationships, and even the pace of our personal growth. We grip tightly, believing that if we just push hard enough, we can force life to bend to our will. But have you ever noticed that the more you try to control, the more things seem to slip away? Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it escapes through your fingers. This is the paradox of control. The harder we cling, the more we lose. And yet, we resist letting go, convinced that surrender means weakness or failure. But what if I told you that true strength lies not in control, but in trust? This is where Stoicism offers us a profound and life-changing perspective. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny for what could more aptly fit your needs." Acceptance isn't about passivity or giving up. It's about recognizing what's within your power and what isn't. When you let go of the need to control everything, you create space for peace, for clarity, and for the very things you desire to manifest. Think about how much energy you waste, stressing over things that are completely beyond your control: the opinions of others, unexpected life events, or even minor inconveniences like traffic or the weather. Every moment spent in resistance is a moment lost. Epictetus reminds us, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Imagine how much lighter you'd feel if you truly embraced this mindset. Imagine waking up each day and focusing only on what you can control: your actions, your choices, your mindset. The rest, you release, you trust. And in doing so, you allow life to unfold in a way that's far more effortless and fulfilling. Modern Stoicism teaches us that control is an illusion, and the more we chase it, the more we trap ourselves in a cycle of frustration and anxiety. But when you let go, you tap into a deeper sense of ease. You shift from force to flow, from resistance to acceptance. And paradoxically, that's when things begin to fall into place. When you're no longer obsessed with outcomes, you become more present, more adaptable, and ultimately, more in tune with life's natural rhythm. This doesn't mean you stop striving or taking action. Quite the opposite. Modern Stoicism encourages us to act with purpose while surrendering attachment to results. It's about recognizing that while you control your effort, you don't control the outcome. Picture a skilled archer. She draws her bow, aims, and releases the arrow. But once it's in the air, its path is determined by factors beyond her: control, wind, distance, movement. All of these can alter its course. But she does not despair. She simply refines her aim for the next shot. Life is much the same. Your job is to take the shot, to do your best, and then let go. The rest is not up to you. This mindset is liberating because it removes the unnecessary suffering that comes with clinging to expectations. Instead of resisting life, you begin to flow with it, and that's when true manifestation happens. So ask yourself, what are you gripping onto so tightly that it's slipping through your fingers? What would happen if you simply trusted the process? Could you allow yourself to loosen your grip and find peace in the unfolding of life? The answer lies not in trying to control, but in knowing when to let go. And in that space of surrender, you just might discover that everything you desire was never out of reach. It was simply waiting for you to stop resisting. Number 2. Start your day strong. The way you begin your day isn't just about habit, it's about power. A strong start creates momentum, while a scattered, chaotic morning leaves you at the mercy of the day's demands. If you wake up already, drowning in notifications, rushing to meet obligations, and reacting to problems before you've even centered yourself, you are relinquishing control before the day has even begun. But what if instead you claimed your mornings as your own? This is what the Stoics understood deeply. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, would begin each morning with quiet reflection, reminding himself of his purpose and preparing his mind for the challenges ahead. He once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. You too have this power to set the tone of your day with intention, clarity, and strength. The secret to mastering your morning lies not in rushing, but in creating space for yourself before the world starts making demands. If you want to manifest everything you desire, you must first cultivate inner stillness. Before you check your phone, before you plunge into work, before you let stress take hold, dedicate a few minutes to centering yourself. This doesn't require grand rituals, just simple moments of stillness. Breathe deeply, take in the quiet, and reflect on your purpose. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? How will I respond to obstacles? This small act alone separates those who move through life with purpose from those who are merely dragged along by it. Seneca wisely advised, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Your morning is the beginning of that life. Make it count. Some people find clarity through journaling, using it as a way to direct their thoughts before the day unfolds. Others meditate, finding peace in stillness and breath. Some prefer something as simple as drinking their morning tea in complete silence, allowing their mind to wake up without immediate distractions. The method doesn't matter as much as the intention behind it. By grounding yourself each morning, you align your actions with your deeper goals. You train your mind to be proactive rather than reactive. And when you operate from a place of calm and control, you become more effective, more resilient, and ultimately more powerful in shaping your life. It is not magic, but mastery. This is one of the great Stoic secrets. The external world will always be unpredictable. There will be chaos, distractions, and people who try to pull you away from your path. But if you start your day strong, you are already ahead. You are setting the foundation for everything that follows. The mind, when trained in discipline and purpose, can withstand anything. As Epictetus taught, no man is free who is not master of himself. And that mastery begins the moment you wake up. So take control of your mornings, and in doing so, take control of your life. The power to manifest everything you desire is already within you, waiting for you to claim it. Number 3. Your mind, your best ally. Your mind is your greatest ally, but it can just as easily become your worst enemy. It is the lens through which you perceive reality, shaping the actions you take and the results you experience. If your mind is filled with doubt, distraction, and unnecessary worry, it becomes a barrier rather than a tool. This is why modern Stoicism emphasizes the mastery of the mind, because while you may not control external events, you always have power over your thoughts. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you train your mind to work for you instead of against you, you develop the ability to manifest your desires with greater clarity and purpose. This isn't about wishful thinking or expecting things to magically fall into place. It's about cultivating a mindset that supports disciplined action, resilience, and unwavering focus on what truly matters. In today's world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by distractions, social media, news, opinions, and endless notifications, pulling your attention in 100 different directions. But when you allow these distractions to dictate your thoughts, you lose control over the one thing that truly belongs to you, your mind. The modern world demands mental discipline more than ever. Just as an undisciplined mind creates chaos, a well-trained mind brings clarity, direction, and power. Seneca reminds us, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Much of our stress comes not from reality itself, but from how we think about it. If you allow fear and negativity to dominate your mind, you will experience unnecessary suffering. But when you take control of your thoughts, you free yourself from self-imposed limitations and open the door to new possibilities. So how do you make your mind your greatest ally? First, simplify. Remove the unnecessary. Limit distractions and focus only on what truly contributes to your growth. The Stoics practice this through daily reflection, asking themselves whether their thoughts and actions aligned with their values. You must do the same. Spend time each day examining your thoughts. Are they serving you or holding you back? Second, develop a habit of mindfulness. This doesn't mean you need to meditate for hours. It simply means being aware of what you think and how those thoughts influence your actions. When your mind starts wandering into fear, regret, or frustration over things beyond your control, gently bring it back to the present moment. Third, practice mental resilience. Obstacles will come and difficulties will arise, but it is not the obstacles that determine your success. It is your response to them. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If you train your mind to see setbacks as opportunities for growth, you will never be truly defeated. Modern Stoicism is about applying these timeless principles to today's challenges. In a world full of noise, your ability to control your thoughts is what separates you from those who are constantly tossed around by circumstances. If you want to manifest your desires, begin by mastering your mind. Clear out the mental clutter, focus on what is within your power, and take purposeful action. Your mind can be your strongest weapon or your greatest weakness. The choice is yours. If you're on the journey to mastering your mind and turning it into your greatest ally, comment, "I control my mind," below. By sharing your thoughts and experiences, you're not only strengthening your own commitment but also helping build a community focused on clarity, discipline, and a strong mindset. Let's apply the principles of modern Stoicism together. Take control of our thoughts and create a life of purpose and strength. Number 4, do things with calm. In today's fast-paced world, it often feels like we're running on autopilot, bouncing from one task to another, chasing deadlines, and trying to keep up with endless demands. We measure productivity by how much we can squeeze into a single day, believing that the faster we move, the more successful we'll be. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what's the real cost of this constant rushing? Mistakes, stress, exhaustion. These are the inevitable results of moving too fast. When we rush, we lose clarity. When we're too busy trying to do everything at once, we end up doing nothing well. The Stoics understood something that modern society seems to have forgotten. True power lies in calmness. In a world addicted to speed, the ability to slow down, is a rare and valuable skill. Doing things with patience, precision, and intention isn't just about efficiency. It's about mastery. Imagine an archer drawing their bow. If they rush the shot, they miss the mark. But when they take a deep breath, steady their hands and focus, the arrow flies true. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. Control over oneself leads to control over outcomes. When you act with calm, you don't just avoid mistakes, you create space for excellence. You move with a sense of purpose rather than reacting mindlessly to everything around you. Think about the last time you rushed something, a conversation, a decision, a project. Did it turn out the way you wanted? Now, imagine if you had taken a moment to pause, to breathe, to fully engage in the process. Would the result have been different? Life is not a race to the finish line, it's a craft, like sculpting a statue. Each chisel stroke requires care, and with enough patience the masterpiece reveals itself. The greatest Stoic secrets are hidden in stillness. When you slow down, you gain control. When you move with intention, you cultivate excellence. This principle applies to everything: your work, your relationships, your personal growth. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote, "Do less, but do it better." In other words, eliminate the unnecessary and focus only on what truly matters. This is where real progress happens. Picture someone like Steve Jobs, obsessed with precision, refusing to rush the process of creation. His success wasn't built on speed, but on meticulous attention to detail, on patience that allowed brilliance to unfold. And this same power is within you. Next time you find yourself caught in the whirlwind of busyness, remember, slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. You don't need to do more. You need to do things better. Ask yourself, what would happen if I approached each moment with calm and clarity? How much more could I achieve with half the effort? The answer lies in stillness. The answer lies in the art of doing things with patience. When you embrace this mindset, everything begins to shift. Your work becomes more meaningful, your relationships deepen, and your mind finds peace. So, take a step back. Breathe. Do less, but do it with excellence. That is the Stoic way, and that is how you manifest everything you desire. Number 5. Be grateful for what you have. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good habit. It's a shift in perspective that has the power to transform your entire existence. Too often, we dwell on what we don't have, constantly chasing after something, more believing that happiness lies just beyond our grasp. But what if I told you that everything you desire, everything you think you need to feel fulfilled, is already within reach? Modern Stoicism teaches us that abundance isn't found in accumulating more, but in recognizing what we already possess. Marcus Aurelius himself understood this deeply, writing, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours." Think about that. How many things in your life today were once just a wish, a longing, a dream? The roof over your head, the food on your table, the people you love, the knowledge you've gained. These are the riches you once sought. Yet how often do you stop to appreciate them? We live in a world that conditions us to focus on scarcity, to compare, to believe that happiness is always out there somewhere, just beyond reach. But the truth is, happiness isn't found in the endless pursuit of more. It's found in the deep recognition of what already is. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift from a mindset of lack to a mindset of abundance. And this shift does something incredible. It aligns you with the very things you desire, making it easier to manifest them in your life. When you acknowledge the good in your life, you attract more of it. Have you ever noticed that when you truly appreciate something, whether it's a relationship, an opportunity, or even a simple moment of peace, life seems to reward you with more of it? That's no coincidence. The Stoics believed that fortune is fleeting and external possessions are never truly ours. Seneca warned, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In other words, if you are always wanting, always feeling incomplete, you will never feel rich, no matter how much you accumulate. But when you learn to be grateful for what you have, to truly see the value in it, you free yourself from the illusion that happiness is somewhere else. You realize that abundance isn't something to chase, it's something to recognize. So ask yourself, what do you have right now that you once longed for? What blessings exist in your life that you have been overlooking? And more importantly, how might your life change if you started each day with gratitude? Imagine waking up tomorrow and before reaching for your phone, before allowing the world to pull you into its chaos, you take a moment to acknowledge 3 things you're grateful for. Maybe it's the comfort of your bed, the breath in your lungs, or the fact that you have another day to grow, to love, to experience life. How would that simple shift change the way you see the world? How would it change what the world offers you in return? Practicing gratitude isn't about ignoring your desires or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about recognizing that fulfillment doesn't come from having more. It comes from seeing more. And when you train yourself to see the abundance already in your life, you naturally attract more of it. This is the essence of modern Stoicism. Mastering the art of perception, shifting your mindset from lack to fulfillment, and realizing that what you seek has often been with you all along. So start today. Write down 3 things you're grateful for, speak them out loud, feel them deeply, and then watch. Watch how your perspective changes. Watch how your energy shifts. And watch how life begins to open new doors in ways you never expected. Number 6. Disconnect from the noise. In a world that never stops talking, silence becomes a rare and valuable commodity. From the moment you wake up, your mind is bombarded with notifications, emails, social media updates, and a constant stream of information that pulls you in 100 directions. But amidst this external noise, where do you find space to listen to yourself? The truth is, you can't manifest what you truly desire if you're drowning in distractions. The Stoics understood this well. Seneca warned, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That's the secret, the ability to create silence within yourself, no matter how loud the world becomes. Detaching from the noise isn't about escaping life. It's about reclaiming your mental space and energy so that your mind becomes an ally rather than a battlefield. The path to manifestation and inner peace begins with setting boundaries. You don't need to answer every message immediately, nor do you have to keep up with every trend, news cycle, or opinion thrown your way. What you truly need is clarity. And clarity can only come in moments of stillness. When you disconnect from the noise, even briefly, you give your mind the space to process, reflect, and focus on what genuinely matters. This is a key Stoic secret. Your attention is one of your most valuable resources, and where you direct it determines the quality of your life. Every time you step away from external distractions, whether through meditation, a walk in nature, or simply turning off your phone, you reclaim control over your mind. In doing so, you align yourself with your deepest intentions, allowing manifestation to happen with greater ease. The modern world thrives on urgency, making it easy to fall into the trap of believing that constant activity equals productivity. But that's an illusion. True progress, true manifestation comes not from doing more, but from doing what matters most with full presence and focus. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, sometimes isolating themselves from distractions. To sharpen their minds, Epictetus reminds us, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In other words, don't fear missing out. Fear being so consumed by distractions that you lose sight of your own goals. The moments of solitude you create aren't wasted time. They're investments in your mental clarity, resilience, and ability to shape the life you want. This is why stepping away from the noise isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. You must give yourself permission to pause, to breathe, and to listen to your inner voice without interference. When you do, you'll notice something remarkable. Your desires become clearer, your decisions become more intentional, and your actions become more powerful. This is the second Stoic secret. By cultivating inner silence, you unlock the ability to manifest with precision. The world will always demand your attention, but you get to decide where to place it. Disconnect. From the noise, reconnect with yourself and watch how your life transforms. Your mind is your most valuable space. How you protect it shapes everything in your life. In a world that constantly demands your attention, taking a step back isn't just an act of self-care, it's an act of power. Are you ready to reclaim your focus and disconnect from the noise? Drop a comment below. I choose clarity over chaos. Let's take this step together and commit to a life of greater intention and peace. Number 7. Get a good night's rest. Rest is not a luxury. It is a necessity, the foundation of clarity, resilience, and focus. In today's world, where hustle culture glorifies exhaustion, we often sacrifice sleep in the pursuit of success. But without proper rest, our ability to manifest our goals and navigate life with purpose is severely compromised. Even Marcus Aurelius, who carried the weight of an empire, understood the importance of rest. A well-rested mind sees life with gratitude, while an exhausted one only sees obstacles. In modern Stoicism, we recognize that neglecting rest leads to emotional instability, poor decision-making, and a lack of discipline. Sleep is not wasted time. It is an investment in your ability to think clearly, act with wisdom, and create the reality you desire. Manifestation isn't just about effort. It's about balance. Imagine a warrior neglecting to sharpen his sword. Soon it becomes dull and ineffective. You are that warrior, and your mind is your greatest weapon. If you push forward without rest, even the most ambitious goals become unreachable. The Stoics understood this well, valuing both action and reflection. Seneca wisely stated, "The mind must be given relaxation. It will rise improved and sharper after a good break." Your ability to function at your highest level depends on respecting the role of rest. The modern world bombards us with distractions, notifications, and pressure to always do more. But those who deliberately step back, recharge, and regain focus are the ones who move through life with true power and presence. A nightly routine isn't just self-care. It's self-discipline. The way you end your day determines how you begin the next. Creating a space for rest, free from screens, stress, and distractions, allows you to take control of your energy. The Stoics advised reflection before sleep, reviewing where you succeeded, where you fell short, and then letting it go. Do not let your thoughts be disturbed by the past or the future. The present is all you have. By clearing your mind before bed, you wake up with clarity, calmness, and the strength to tackle the day. Prioritizing sleep isn't about feeling better. It's about equipping yourself to manifest your aspirations with focus and purpose. Many believe success requires constant grinding, but true power comes from sustainable energy, not burnout. Just as a well-rested athlete performs better, a well-rested mind manifests with greater ease. Modern Stoicism teaches us to master our emotions, to act with intention rather than impulse. Nothing strengthens this mastery more than proper rest. When you wake up refreshed, you engage with life differently. You respond rather than react, see opportunities rather than barriers, and move with the quiet confidence of someone prepared. The world rewards effectiveness, not just effort, and effectiveness comes from a mind that is rested and clear. So tonight, remind yourself, rest is not weakness. It is the silent force behind your strength, the fuel for all you will achieve. Number 8. Embrace your failures. Failure is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. I know that might sound counterintuitive, but think about it. Every time you fail, you gain something far more valuable than success ever could: wisdom. Stoic secrets remind us that it's not the failure itself that holds us back, but how we respond to it. Most people fear failure so much that they let it paralyze them, stopping them from even trying. But what if you saw failure as a necessary step on the road to everything you desire? What if, instead of dreading it, you embraced it as proof that you're in the process of growth? The Stoics believed that setbacks are not signs of defeat, but opportunities for transformation. Imagine a young entrepreneur who pours everything into a startup, only to see it collapse within a year. It's easy to feel like a failure in that moment, but if they choose to see the loss as a lesson, an opportunity to refine their approach, understand the market better, and improve their product, then was it really a failure? Or was it a crucial part of the journey to success? Think about how many times history has proven this truth. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each of those failures was actually data, feedback that guided him toward the invention of the light bulb. If he had stopped after his first attempt, or even his 100th, the world might still be in darkness. And what about J.K. Rowling, who was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon? Or Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school basketball team before becoming one of the greatest players of all time? These stories aren't exceptions. They're proof that failure is not the opposite of success, but a part of it. Yet too often, people see failure as a reason to quit. But what if quitting is the only true failure? What if failure is actually a gift, showing us what doesn't work so that we can get closer to what does? The real problem is not failing. It's letting failure define you instead of using it to refine you. When you detach yourself from the fear of failure, something amazing happens. You free yourself. You stop hesitating, you take action. And that's the real secret behind manifestation. It's not about wishing for success, it's about showing up every day, learning from every setback, and trusting that each step, even the painful ones, is leading you to where you're meant to be. Imagine how much more fearless you would be if you fully accepted that failure is simply part of the process. What dreams would you chase? What risks would you take? The Stoics teach us that we must control what we can, our mindset, our actions, our resilience, and let go of what we cannot, including the outcomes. You don't control whether you succeed immediately, but you do control whether you keep going. And that is where real power lies. So the next time you stumble, remind yourself, this is not the end. This is a lesson. This is a step forward. If you let failure teach you rather than break you, you will become unstoppable. The greatest successes in life belong to those who dared to fail and kept going anyway. Are you willing to embrace failure as your guide? Because if you do, you might just discover the real Stoic secrets to achieving everything you desire. Number 9. Imagine it and make it real. There is an incredible power in visualization, an ability to shape your reality by first creating it in your mind. Have you ever noticed how an idea, once vividly imagined, begins to feel real even before it happens? This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a mental blueprint, a rehearsal for success. Modern Stoicism teaches us that clarity of thought leads to clarity of action. When you picture your goals in rich detail, feeling the emotions, seeing the steps, and anticipating the journey, you train your mind to recognize the paths that lead there. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's life is what his thoughts make of it." What do your thoughts make of your life? Are you consciously shaping your future, or are you letting doubt, fear, and distractions dictate your direction? Think of an athlete before a big race. Before they step onto the track, they've already run that race 100 times in their mind. They see themselves pushing past limits, feeling the wind against their skin. crossing the finish line victorious. This mental preparation sharpens their focus, strengthens their confidence, and reduces hesitation when the real moment arrives. The same applies to you. Whether you're pursuing a career, writing a book, improving your relationships, or manifesting inner peace, you must first see yourself succeeding. The more clearly you imagine it, the more naturally you move toward it. But visualization alone is not enough. It must be combined with action. This is where modern Stoicism provides a practical framework. Epictetus reminds us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Your dreams don't manifest through thought alone. They require movement, commitment, and discipline. If you want to be a writer, imagine yourself holding your finished book, feeling the weight of the pages, the excitement of accomplishment. But then, you must sit down and write. If you want financial success, picture yourself thriving, making wise decisions, and living with abundance. But then you must take the necessary steps, invest, learn, and work with purpose. This is the balance Stoicism teaches. Visualize the goal, but take full ownership of the process. Wishing for an outcome without action is like hoping a ship reaches the shore without steering it. And there's something even deeper at play. Your emotions fuel your reality. When you connect emotionally to your vision, you activate a powerful force within you. Imagine yourself achieving your dream. How does it feel? Does it bring excitement, relief, confidence? That emotional energy propels you forward, making you more resilient against setbacks. Fear and doubt may whisper that you're not capable, but if your vision is strong enough, you'll push past those voices. Think of the greatest minds, the most successful creators, the most determined individuals. They all saw their success before it happened. They walked through their achievements in their minds long before the world saw them come to life. Why should you be any different? So, I ask you, what do you see when you close your eyes and envision your best life? Are you imagining something extraordinary? Or are you letting limitations shrink your vision? Are you preparing for greatness, or are you hesitating out of fear? Remember, your thoughts set the foundation for your reality. If you see yourself as someone capable, strong, and determined, you will naturally begin to take actions that align with that belief. But if you let doubt cloud your vision, your actions will reflect that uncertainty. The choice is always yours. Spend time each day visualizing your success, not just as a fantasy, but as a mental rehearsal for the reality you are creating. See it, feel it, believe in it, and then take the steps to make it real. Because the moment you align your vision with your actions, everything begins to fall into place. Let me ask you this. If you're ready to turn your dreams into reality, to take control of your mindset and actions, then don't wait. Start now. Like this video and comment below. See it, believe it, do it. Because your future isn't determined by luck, it's shaped by the choices you make today. Number 10. Trust in what's coming. Trusting in what's coming is one of the greatest Stoic secrets to mastering life. In a world that glorifies instant gratification, it's easy to grow restless when results don't appear as quickly as we expect. We live in an age where everything is at our fingertips: information, entertainment, even relationships. So when our efforts don't yield immediate rewards, frustration takes hold. But the Stoics teach us a different way: to trust in the process, to embrace patience, and to understand that true success is not about controlling every outcome, but about preparing ourselves for what is to come. The more you obsess over the when, the more you invite doubt and anxiety. Instead, shift your focus from demanding results to refining your discipline, your mindset, and your resilience. Think of life like planting a tree. You don't rush the process. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You simply water it, give it sunlight, and trust that with time it will flourish. The same applies to your goals, your dreams, and everything you wish to manifest. The universe, much like nature, operates on its own timeline, and your impatience won't make the tree grow any faster. Seneca wisely noted, "Everything that exceeds the bounds of moderation has an unstable foundation." When we become desperate for immediate results, we disrupt our own foundation. We trade patience for anxiety, trust for fear, and progress for frustration. Instead of forcing outcomes, allow them to unfold. This isn't about passivity, but about aligning your actions with the natural flow of life. Keep showing up. Keep putting in the work, but let go of the need to control when and how success arrives. Trusting in what's coming is not about blind faith. It's about confidence in yourself and the process. Too often, people give up just before they reach the breakthrough, not because they lacked the ability, but because they lacked patience. Your efforts are never wasted. The energy you put into your goals creates ripples, and those ripples eventually return to you. The Stoics understood this well, which is why they emphasized endurance over immediate reward. Epictetus reminded us, "No great thing is created suddenly." When you internalize this truth, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. You stop resisting the present moment, and in doing so, you open the door for opportunities to flow toward you naturally. The paradox of manifestation is this: the more you let go of attachment to the outcome, the faster it arrives. When you release fear, doubt, and frustration, you create space for abundance to enter your life. This is the essence of trusting in what's coming. You maintain effort without forcing outcomes. You cultivate patience without complacency, and you manifest your desires by first mastering yourself. The greatest Stoic secrets are not about bending the world to your will, but about aligning your will with the nature of life itself. When you trust in the timing of your journey, you move with a calm certainty, knowing that what is meant for you will come, not a moment too soon or too late, but exactly when you are ready to receive it. Number 11. Be patient and trust the timing. Patience is more than just waiting. It is an active practice of trust, discipline, and surrender to the natural flow of life. In modern Stoicism, patience is not about passivity, but about understanding that everything unfolds in its own time. Too often we find ourselves frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we would like. We want success, love, or change to arrive immediately, and when it doesn't, we grow anxious, doubting the process. But as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. The Stoics understood that the timing of events is not always within our control, but how we respond to them is. When you resist impatience and embrace the present, you free yourself from the emotional turbulence that comes from wanting things to happen on your schedule. This doesn't mean you stop working toward your goals. It means you trust that each step, no matter how slow, is part of a greater process. Think of a tree growing from a seed. It does not rush its growth, nor does it resist the seasons. It simply follows its natural course, and in time it stands strong. Your journey is no different. The progress you seek is happening even if you don't see it yet. If you are pursuing a new career, a dream project, or even personal growth, impatience will only cloud your judgment. Instead of measuring success by speed, measure it by consistency and effort. Epictetus wisely said, "No great thing is created suddenly." Every great accomplishment, whether it be a successful career, financial stability, or inner peace, takes time to cultivate. The more you trust this, the more you allow the universe to work in your favor without resistance. When you try to force things before their time, you create unnecessary stress. Think about how modern life constantly pushes the idea of instant results, fast success, immediate gratification, overnight transformation. But reality doesn't work that way, and Stoicism teaches us to align with the natural rhythm of life rather than fight against it. By practicing patience, you make space for the best outcomes to unfold when they are meant to. You stop resisting delays and instead see them as part of the journey. The key is to continue taking action without obsessing over when you will see results. Seneca reminds us, time discovers truth. When you let go of the need to control every aspect of timing, you allow yourself to move forward with greater peace. The things you desire are not outside your reach. They are simply unfolding in their rightful moment. By trusting this process, you cultivate resilience and a deep sense of inner calm. Modern Stoicism teaches us that patience is not about waiting idly, but about having faith in the timing of life. While taking steady, deliberate action, you do not need to rush, you do not need to force. Everything you seek is already on its way. Trust, persist, and allow life to unfold as it should. Number 12. Set clear intentions. In life, we often drift from one task to another, hoping that somehow things will fall into place. But hope alone isn't a strategy, and wishful thinking never built anything great. The Stoics understood this well, which is why they emphasized the power of setting clear intentions. When you define what you want with precision and purpose, you create a mental roadmap that aligns your actions with your desires. It's the difference between wandering aimlessly and having a clear destination in mind. Think of it like sailing. Without a defined course, the winds will push you in random directions, leaving you lost at sea. But when you set a clear intention, you take control of the wheel, navigating toward your goals with purpose. This is what separates those who achieve from those who merely dream. You might want to start a business, improve your health, or strengthen your relationships. But without setting clear, actionable steps, your goals remain nothing more than vague aspirations. Stoic wisdom teaches us that success isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating the right conditions through disciplined action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A person's life is dyed with the color of their thoughts." What thoughts are you allowing to shape your life? If you don't take charge of them, distractions, fears, and outside influences will. Setting intentions means choosing the direction of your life, instead of being swept away by circumstances. Consider someone like Elon Musk. He didn't just wish for innovation, he set clear intentions and acted relentlessly on them. SpaceX wasn't built on vague ambitions. It was built on precise goals, calculated risks, and unwavering focus. When you set a clear intention, you make a pact with yourself, a commitment to take the necessary actions to turn ideas into reality. It's not about obsessing over the future, but about being fully present in the process. Think about the last time you aimed for something specific. How did it feel to work toward it with clarity? Now, contrast that with a time when you drifted without direction. Which experience gave you more control? Which led to real progress? The answer is clear. Intention creates momentum. Without it, life happens to you instead of you shaping life. That's why the greatest Stoic secrets lie in mastering your focus and directing it toward meaningful action. If you wake up every day without a defined purpose, it's easy to fall into the trap of reacting to whatever comes your way. Emails, social media, distractions, until the day slips through your fingers. But when you start each morning by setting clear intentions, you reclaim your time, your energy, and your direction. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. So ask yourself, what do I truly want? What steps can I take today, however small, to move toward that vision? Clarity isn't just about knowing what you want. It's about aligning your daily choices with that desire. When you commit to this, you manifest the life you seek, not through luck, but through deliberate action. This is how you create not just success, but a life of meaning. When you live with clear intentions, you eliminate the noise, focus on what truly matters, and find fulfillment in every step forward. So take control, set your course, manifest with action, not just hope. That is the Stoic way. Number 13. Embrace change. Change, it's the one constant in life, yet so many of us resist it, fearing the uncertainty it brings. I get it. The unknown can feel overwhelming, even threatening. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what if change isn't something to fear but something to embrace? Modern Stoicism teaches us that while we may not control external events, we always control our response to them. Every great journey, every breakthrough, every moment of growth in your life has likely come from a change. Some shift that forced you to step outside of your comfort zone. Think about it. The relationships, jobs, and experiences that shaped you the most, weren't they the result of something changing, even if at first it felt uncomfortable? When you resist change, you resist life itself. Imagine someone who refuses to move to a new city for a better opportunity because they're afraid of the unknown. They cling to familiarity, missing out on personal growth, new experiences, and unforeseen blessings. But when you embrace change, when you lean into it with an open mind, suddenly the world expands. What once seemed daunting becomes exciting. What once felt like an ending reveals itself to be a new beginning. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus taught, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So how do you react to change? Do you fight against it, hoping to keep things the same, or do you adapt and flow with it, using it as fuel for your own evolution? Every change, no matter how difficult, carries with it a lesson. Sometimes life pushes you in a new direction not to punish you, but to prepare you. The challenges you face today may be shaping you into the person you need to become for the future you desire. When you see change through this lens, it stops being a source of fear and starts becoming a tool for growth. Think about a time in your life when you faced an unexpected change. Maybe you lost something or someone. Maybe life didn't go according to plan. At the time, it might have felt like the end of the world. But looking back, can you see how it led you somewhere new, somewhere better? Change is often the catalyst for wisdom, resilience, and strength, but only if we allow it to be. What if, instead of fearing change, you started welcoming it? What if, instead of seeing uncertainty as a threat, you saw it as an adventure? Modern Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending things don't affect us. It's about training the mind to remain steady amidst life's inevitable shifts. You don't have to control everything. You just have to control how you see it. So the next time you find yourself facing change, pause. Ask yourself, what if this is happening for me, not to me? What lessons might this change be trying to teach me? What new opportunities might it bring? Because the truth is, every great thing you desire, growth, success, peace, even happiness, exists on the other side of change. And when you stop resisting, when you finally embrace it, you might just realize that everything you've been searching for has been waiting for you all along. If you've made it this far, you are truly someone who seeks wisdom and growth. You understand that life is ever-changing, and rather than resisting it, you are learning to embrace it. Let's take this a step further. Leave a comment saying, "Change fuels my growth," to affirm your commitment to adapting, evolving, and thriving through life's uncertainties. Or share a moment when an unexpected change led to something greater in your life. Your journey of self-discovery and resilience is only just beginning. Let's grow together. Number 14. Practice self-discipline. Self-discipline is the silent force behind every meaningful achievement, the foundation upon which success, growth, and manifestation are built. Without it, even the most well-intentioned goals remain out of reach, lost in the endless cycle of procrastination and distraction. The Stoics understood that the ability to master oneself was far more powerful than controlling external circumstances. And this is one of the great Stoic secrets. Freedom isn't about doing whatever you want, whenever you want. It's about having the strength to act in alignment with your higher purpose, even when temptations pull you in another direction. Every time you choose to delay gratification in favor of long-term rewards, You reinforce the discipline that shapes your destiny. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, endless entertainment, fast food, instant gratification. These conveniences are designed to keep you comfortable but complacent. True self-discipline isn't about rejecting pleasure, but about consciously choosing when and how to engage with it in a way that serves your long-term vision. If you want to build a healthier body, self-discipline means saying no to the fleeting pleasure of junk food and yes to nourishing meals. If you desire financial stability, it means resisting impulsive spending and choosing long-term financial security instead. If you seek personal growth, it means prioritizing reading, learning, and skill development over mindless entertainment. But here's the truth. Discipline is not about grand, heroic moments. It's about small, consistent actions taken every day. A writer who commits to just 500 words a day may not see immediate results, but in a year they'll have a book. An entrepreneur who dedicates an hour each morning to their business will eventually see it grow. A person who saves a small amount of money each month will build wealth over time. The key isn't intensity, it's consistency. The Stoics believed that self-discipline wasn't about harsh self-denial, but about training the mind to focus on what truly matters. Seneca wisely said, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." You don't have to force discipline upon yourself. You cultivate it by making small, intentional choices that align with your greater vision. What most people don't realize is that self-discipline is a form of self-respect. When you practice discipline, you're telling yourself that your future matters. You're proving that your goals, dreams, and personal evolution are worth the effort, and over time, this mindset becomes your greatest advantage. This is the second of the Stoic secrets. Discipline isn't about restriction. It's about liberation. When you master yourself, external distractions lose their hold over you. The world will always offer easier, more comfortable paths, but the path of self-discipline is the only one that leads to true fulfillment. Stay committed, stay focused, and watch how everything you desire begins to take shape. Number 15. Cultivate inner peace. Inner peace is not a luxury, it is a necessity for a meaningful and fulfilling life. When you cultivate inner calm, you gain the ability to make wiser decisions, navigate challenges with resilience, and stay focused on what truly matters. In the chaos of modern life, where stress and uncertainty are constant, maintaining peace of mind is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Modern Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control everything that happens, we can always control how we respond. This distinction is crucial. You may lose a job, face rejection, or encounter setbacks, but you alone decide whether these moments define you or refine you. True peace does not come from avoiding difficulties, but from facing them with a steady mind. Life is full of unexpected storms, but inner peace acts as an anchor, keeping you grounded no matter what comes your way. When you detach from external chaos and focus on mastering your own reactions, you reclaim your personal power. Finding peace doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means engaging with it from a place of clarity rather than fear. The Stoics understood that emotional stability is not just about feeling calm, but about maintaining mental clarity even in the face of adversity. Seneca wisely noted, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." How often do we let our minds spiral into worry over things that may never happen? How much stress do we create by resisting what is beyond our control? When you stop clinging to what you cannot change, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. This is why practices like mindfulness, deep breathing, and self-reflection are essential. They help you step back from impulsive reactions and see situations with greater perspective. A quiet mind is a powerful mind, and the ability to pause before reacting allows you to approach life with wisdom and intention. Inner peace creates the mental space where creativity, clarity, and purpose thrive, making it easier to manifest your goals with confidence and precision. Many believe that success requires constant struggle, but modern Stoicism reminds us that true strength comes from inner stability. The more at peace you are, the more effective you become. When your mind is calm, you think clearly, act deliberately, and make better decisions. You no longer waste energy on things that don't serve you, and you stop reacting emotionally to every challenge. Instead, you approach problems with a rational mindset, knowing that setbacks are just detours, not dead ends. Epictetus advised, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them." Peace of mind is a choice you make daily. It is built through habits, taking moments to breathe, practicing gratitude, and training your thoughts to focus on solutions rather than problems. The more you strengthen this mindset, the more unshakable you become, allowing you to move through life with confidence and grace. Cultivating inner peace does not mean eliminating all difficulties. It means building the resilience to remain centered no matter what happens. Just as an ocean remains deep and steady beneath the surface, you can learn to be still inside, even when the waves of life become turbulent. This inner stillness allows you to manifest your desires without being derailed by distractions or self-doubt. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that the only things he truly controlled were his thoughts and actions. Everything else was beyond his reach. This is the core of modern Stoicism, mastering yourself so that external circumstances lose their power over you. When you embrace this philosophy, you stop seeking peace in temporary achievements or external validation. Instead, you find it within yourself, in your ability to remain calm, composed, and focused on what truly matters. By practicing mindfulness, detachment, and acceptance, you build the foundation of inner peace that supports your personal growth and manifestation process. And when you are at peace with yourself, you become unstoppable. As we wrap up, remember that modern Stoicism isn't just a philosophy. It's a way of living that helps you manifest everything you desire with clarity and purpose. When you let go of control, embrace self-discipline, and cultivate inner peace, you create the conditions for real transformation. The secret of the Stoics is not in forcing outcomes, but in aligning your thoughts, actions, and mindset with the natural flow of life. True power lies not in what happens to you, but in how you respond. By practicing patience, resilience, and trust in the process, you set yourself on a path to greater success and fulfillment. Now, I challenge you. How will you start applying these Stoic principles in your daily life? What small change can you make today to bring yourself closer to your goals? Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to Stoic in Your Life, and join us on this journey to wisdom, strength, and inner peace. Your best life is already unfolding. Are you ready to embrace it?